Getting nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. We're still working on getting communism going and trying to keep the revolutionary movement as chill as possible. This is going to be so by the way, this is going to be a very large revolution. This is going to basically pull in every state except for Jutland and the capital. Ooh, excellent. So, we've unlocked radio production. So I'm going to grab some of our electrics industries and get them producing radios. I'm just going to grab one of our smaller industries for now. For some reason, our electrics industries are not productive. Anyway, I'm hoping the radios will help with that. So once these ones in Gotland are built, they'll be producing radios, and that will be very productive for the country. How are we doing with employment? We've gotten high unemployment. Okay, the infernal machine. An attempt on the life of the president has killed many but spared our ruler. A complex device that self-damaged in the attack is the only trace of the revolutionary left at the site of the attack. It's hard to say what happened. I heard a slow explosion, like a ragged platoon fire, and there was smoke and chaos all around. The people to my right and left were cut down where they stood, but I was untouched. I looked off towards the president, and there was just as suddenly a bloody void surrounding him. Limit Gunnar Benedictson's public appearances for a while. The crime is obviously the fault of Nils With. I'm just going to do this. I think we can tolerate that. It means we're going to have to cut one of these consumption taxes, though. Oh, goodness. Okay, alright. The petite bourgeoisie are staying basically chill. The intelligentsia are feeling better and better about the whole situation, and I'm hoping that if we can just, if we can get some small bonuses, we can pull them out of this thing. Or, if Theodore Arndt's, our guy here, loses control of the party, then maybe they'll just side with the revolution instead. So we've built our skyscraper. Touching the sky. Construction of the Stockholm skyscraper in Svealand is complete. Dominating the skyline, it inspires all who gaze upon it. My skyscraper would not have been possible without the hard work and grit of the thousands of people who dedicated themselves to its construction. Of course, as chief architect, I had perhaps more impact on them most. One might even say the lion's share of the credit is mine. In fact, this pinnacle of human achievement, this new Babel, was born entirely from the machinations of my mind. Look upon all you works, ye mighty, and despair. A magnificent achievement. Get us a nice solid prestige bonus. Petite bourgeoisie demand action now. It seems the petite bourgeoisie are determined to extract concessions from our government during this moment of crisis. If we refuse to bend, they threaten to throw their lot in with the revolution. Their lot's already in with the revolution. We can accommodate their demands. This is ridiculous. Let them try their worst. And if they want strength, we can show them that. Oof. You know, I'll accommodate them. I would rather there not be a revolution. So they're at +3 now. The revolution is at 58%. We have a 76% success chance. So if I don't get success during the next check, which is going to be in 80 days, I think we're just going to put a pin in this movement. And unfortunately, that will mean that we'll have some extra radicals to deal with from the Council Republic movement. But we'll be making another shot at it at a later point. Yes, 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 yes. There's a revolution happening in the Dutch East Indies. There's a capitalist revolt happening there. Because ultimately this situation is pretty is pretty resolvable. Like, we've got a very high proportion of loyalists. Can we bring in anyone? Edwin Schnell, but he'd be part of the rural folk, and they don't have barely any clout. Another guy. This guy in the trade unions, but the trade unions are already kind of aligned with the Council Republic situation. Ditto Rupert Tecker. Huh. Landowner anarchist, Gustav von Hanover. Interesting. A lot of revolutionaries around here. Vox Diaboli. In Schleswig-Holstein, Protestant devotees under Otto Stemmen have called for a violent revolt, with Catholic people scapegoated for their current woes. Dutch East Indies, I don't wish to deal with this. To be sure, one cannot misinterpret the voice of the people for the voice of God. One should know that the arch-enemy knows Scripture better than they do. Indeed, it is these sweet silver-tongued sermons that stoke strife. The cost is invariably a tidal wave of blood. Gag the ringleaders, gives us extra Civil War progress, weakens the Church of Sweden, posts soldiers outside the Catholic congregations, Catholic pops get loyalist, Protestant pops become radical, progresses Civil War. Address some of Protestants' concerns. Okay, so all of these goes 5% Civil War. So we're just creating some radical Protestants or some loyalist Protestants. We're creating a few radical Catholics, a large number of radical Catholics, or a large number of radical Protestants, and a small number of loyalist Catholics. I think, unfortunately, we're just kind of going to have to go with majoritarianism on this. I don't see any Catholics in the country. So, alright, well, we'll just kind of go with this then, because because that's kind of what we've got. So we got 24 days on this, 5 weeks till a checkpoint. So if we don't have success here, I think we're just backing out and taking another run at it after the next election. Probably what I'll do is I'll bring the intelligentsia into government. I'll eat the hit of radicalism. I'll switch out the leaders, and then I'll pop them back out of the government, and then we'll all be having a good time. And then when the next election rolls around, the intelligentsia will align with the communists, and if we try this again, it'll go a lot easier. Okay, we have gone to voting. So, we have 2 more weeks till progress, and then we have 2 more cycles on this. On the other hand, this is 199 days. So, each cycle on the revolution track is 8 weeks. So, that means 18 total weeks. Each week is 7 days. So, 18 times 7. Welcome to the DegenCat math hour, friends. Is like 100 and is 80 plus 8 times 7 is 56. So 70 plus 56 is 120. Okay, so we only have a chance with this if I can get this revolution progress down. And I can't boot this guy out of the country because we have protected speech. So I think what it's going to come down to is if I risk it and progress goes up too much, then we're in a revolution either way. Because we're actually very close here. Because we're about to go up to 88%. And if we go up north of... You know what? I don't think this is going to happen. We'll let it go. Alright, so. That deals with that problem. Let's do our little shuffle here. Confirm this. Grant him leadership of the party. Pop them back out. So that gave us a bunch of... a little penalty on loyalism. A significant penalty on loyalism, but not that big of a deal. And then next time through, he should abandon the Venstra, and that'll put us in a much better position. Interestingly, Arnerson is the only guy working towards Council Republic. I could put him... Oh, interesting. We can only grant leadership, but that's okay, because he's not actually a communist. He's a social democrat. So I'm not necessarily concerning myself with that. Well, it is what it is. These things happen. But it's not the end of the world. Anyway, with that relaxation having happened, unemployment is still at 183,000. So the investment pool has largely been keeping up with keeping unemployment down, and that's good. So with that having been done, let's take some time to take a look at our market. We've employed a lot of production methods that use oil, and as a result, oil has become a little expensive. Let's pull in a few more trade routes, just to allow as much oil into the country as we can get. Let's bring in a little bit more coffee. And a little bit more tea. Oh, France has a lot of tea for us. Excellent. And then all of our other stuff is looking fine. We're still short on engines. Oh, I was going to look at radios. What's our radios situation? Okay, so very few of our pops are purchasing radios right now. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to early research NCO training. NCO training is going to cost us radios, but that's pretty okay. Because it's going to make our military just bananas strong. So, we've got Defense in Depth queued up, we've got in Depth queued up, we've got Automatic Machine Gun queued up. When those get done, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 Tier 4 techs that we haven't researched. And I think that's basically acceptable to me. So I'm going to go ahead and add that on there. So that's very good. Meanwhile, our standard of living continues to rise. Our standard of living for the lower stratum is 17.4. It's at 17.4. And for the middle at 23.2. We've got about 500,000 pops at secure at the middle stratum. 20K at the upper stratum, and, wait, hold on. No, okay. 4.86 million in the middle stratum, 600,000 in the upper stratum, and the remaining 12.9 million in the lower stratum. So overall, oh my god, you can't beat Nils. Okay, but he got replaced with a different vanguardist. Kurt Lundell. That's interesting. Okay, so what just happened is the guy leading who was leading the Council Republic movement before, who I put in command of the intelligentsia, retired and was replaced with General Knut Lundell. So this is the guy who we pushed to support the government back during the revolution. He's now in command of the intelligentsia. So what I'm hoping is that in the fullness of time, i.e. during the next election cycle when the parties shift around, that he'll form up with the communists and we'll all be able to have a good time. So currently there is still a Council Republic movement headed up by Herman Arnerson. Graduated taxation would significantly reduce the government's capacity to be funded. Private health insurance is still producing the highest amount. So I am going to keep private health insurance for now. I explained this a while ago, but basically you can get about 20 times your numbers with public health insurance, but the thing is, level 4? Oh, you know what? I think we're gated behind technology. Hold on. Antibiotics. That's the technology we need in order to increase it. After we finish out with all this, we're going to research film. Sorry. What I was trying to say, before I interrupted myself, just like a big hero would have done, you get functionally at our level 1.2 mortality reduction per wealth of each pop, whereas public health insurance gives a flat minus 20% mortality. I said mortality. I might have said morality, but I meant mortality. Health insurance doesn't reduce morality. If someone told you that, I wouldn't trust that person's opinion on important things. So with a 17.3 being our average standard of living for for lower stratum pops, so that's our average standard of living. 1.2 times 17 is about 21. So that's actually higher than what we would get from public health insurance. And that number is only going to go up when we talk about the middle stratum at secure standard of living or the upper stratum at wealthy standard of living. So between those things, I think private is better than public in this situation. In the situation we're currently in. I don't have automatic bakery. I really want that. Where's that in the production? That's dough rollers. Oh, it's a tier 5. Gosh, Shaggy, can't get that. But we should be in defense in depth pretty soon. Just checking to make sure I haven't allowed this episode to go way over. And I have not. Alright. The episodes where there's a revolution brewing are kind of tense, not going to lie here about this. We have a significant base of radicals now, but it's not affecting our politics too much. Although it has eroded our loyalists somewhat. Standard of living continues to go up, though, so I think we're in a good place. This will still not be very good. Going to electric sewing machines is still saying it's not going to be worth it. And looking at the clothing market, yeah, that's still the case. I think it's time to build up some more ports. There actually is available labor in Norland, so let's go ahead and build it there. Northern Norway, similar. Alright. Let's get some ports. This is going to cost the government just a bunch of... Communist Greenland is now supporting Scandinavia as a unification candidate for Scandinavia. Yeah, okay. Sure thing, Victoria 3. You do that. So this is going to cost the government about $1 million, but about £1 million, I think, overall. A little more than that. But that's okay. Our balance sheets are looking very good. The plus side of this is that I'm actually taking up a bunch of the investment of the construction pool right now, so the investment pool will be able to increase while I'm working on this, because that's the thing about the way the private public investment balance works. Our food industries are kind of unproductive. They produce groceries, which are not very expensive, and liquor, which is not very expensive. So I think I can work on exporting those things. I've already been exporting a lot of liquor. There's not many places I can productively sell liquor, so that's a shame. But what about groceries? We can sell them in France. It's the only place that wants groceries. I think we're, as a country, a little bit overinvested in food industries. I think that might have been a little bit of an error. But it is what it is. Those are also keeping our fishing wharves afloat, which still seem to continue to increase despite not being very profitable buildings. Just curious. Again, just checking if the change in production methods are going to make these buildings more profitable, and it doesn't seem like they're going to. How much do we make from government dividends? Quite a bit. It's interesting. I'm surprised by that. Although, again, I've never seen a country where the railways were actually productive. Typically, so many of them get built that travel is not expensive. Travel becomes very affordable, but actually these ones are doing pretty okay. How much of our sulfur demand is from export? Not much. Oh, that's right. Is sulfur the one we're on capacity at? No, but also yes. Interesting. Well, I don't need to really worry about this. That's gonna fill itself up by itself. 300k in unemployment now. That's not great. So what can we build to help out with stuff? Steel is still pretty low. Iron is 2. So we could definitely build more iron mines and steel mills. Steel mills are not super productive. Yeah, part of the gate there is we're bringing in a lot of steel from, or bringing in a lot of coal from abroad, which is making our steel mills not able to operate as productively as one would like. I'm just going to do another round of iron mines, try to get that going as we move in towards the end of the video. We're finishing out defense in depth. It's almost done. And that automatic machine gun is also almost done. So we're probably going to be going straight forward to NCO training in just a week or two. So, defense in depth is just going to give us a flat bonus, but it's a very good bonus. And then next week we should have automatic machine gun finished. Automatic machine gun is going to unlock a production method for our military buildings called machine gunners. So what machine gunners does, this is the first available specialist. It costs ammunition and small arms, and it provides a whole slew of bonuses here. Extra kill rate, extra morale damage, extra defense, and reduced provinces lost. That's provinces lost on a defeat. So we're definitely going to do that. Our military industry should be able to flex up to deal with the extra demand for small arms and ammunition. The AI will almost always overbuild things like arms industries and whatnot just to make sure that that happens effectively. Huh, interesting. I make these publicly traded. will be more profitable. Cool. Neat. In fact, they got a lot more profitable. Still not much demand for radios, but again, that's going to change once we go to that higher production method. So, we're still importing basically as much oil as we can. I can get some coal from Russia. Let's go ahead and do that. See, the thing about importing oil is it's very difficult. Greenland, are you in our market? You're only one state, right? Yes. You have landing stations. You have a few. And you have landing stations. It seems like Greenland is always in a revolution. Oh, I see. The issue is Greenland doesn't have any armies. So it has a revolution, and then the revolution just stays until no one wants to have a revolution anymore. That's really funny. That's a vibe. Alright. And now we're not building anymore, so we're back to 113k income. We're at about 15k of welfare payments for a total of 200k unemployed. Oh, now we're down to where is it? 150k unemployed. So now we're down to about 10k welfare payments. So we're in a new election cycle now. The intelligentsia is now heading up the Communist Party. So if I bring them into the government now, they'll form up with the armed forces. And that creates a legitimate government, and I think that if we're able to have success with that, the next round will be in a really good position to go to Council Republic. With that having been said, that's going to have to wait until next time. But for now, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun. I'll see you all on the other side.